Hello there.
Hello, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing super. How are you?
Oh man, you know, life is good. Life is lifing, as the
Life is lifing, as
as the
always.
young people say. You know,
It is
as
always
the as,
lifing.
yes, absolutely,
hmm
absolutely. So, anything new over there?
Oh, everything, always, all the time.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
But for the most part, just working,
Yeah,
looking for sunshine and
yeah,
petting my cat.
yeah. It has it been raining out there or no?
No, not at all.
It's been absolutely storming out here. It's
Wow.
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, I hear about flash floods literally across the entire country right now. So,
Yeah, they're going crazy. Just out of nowhere. It's just like lightning, and then the sky was like a tannish yellow color,
yeah.
and I was like, oh, that
Spanish
looks like
Stella.
yeah, that looks like Tornado Alley or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
but
sounds
yeah,
scary.
yeah. It was wild. Power went out for a couple seconds, like 15 times, and I was like, all right, this is malarkey that's going
Yeah.
on right now.
yeah.
So,
But
all right.
yeah, so
So we're
today's
back.
topic,
We're
yeah,
back.
we're hitting, what is it? How do you measure success?
How do you measure success? I think this is a really good topic. And we can kind of focus on a lot of different things, but like my question is, what do you? Because there's different kind of. I guess we can say what do you feel success is in this area and in this area and this area. But my
Yeah, it can
question
be
for
separated.
for you is when it comes to like personal growth, right? How would you measure your success in personal growth? Whatever personal growth means to you, right? Personal growth. Um, what do you measure as success?
What do I measure as far as personal growth? I mean,
Yeah,
I think that's I think that's like in itself kind of that answer, right? Is like, how do I measure success? A lot of my measurement for success comes from
mhm.
personal growth. If I'm growing in
Okay,
some way, even if the situation is a failure, even though it was a whole crash and burn,
yeah,
right? If I had some growth in that, if I learned something out of it, it's still a success in its own way,
okay,
right? So I do think that those are kind of one and the same in that aspect.
yeah, okay, yeah. I think that's okay. That's pretty. Yeah, that's pretty good. Of course, we have to learn and grow, and not repeat the same horrible things that
Right.
happen. Right. I keep going right. I keep going right. I keep going right, and every time I go right, something just goes wrong. So let me go. Let me let me go
Let's try
left.
left that. Oh,
Yeah, one time at least, right?
at least. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely. Because, I think that's such a good point. Never making the same mistake, right? That, like, there's going to be times that we make mistakes that we
yeah,
absolutely could have avoided if we had thought it through a little bit more, right? But,
yeah,
like,
yeah,
sometimes we have to make that mistake, or else we're going to be left wondering, like, should I have tried that? Should I have done that?
yeah,
That mistakes are not inherently bad, especially
yeah.
when we focus on the intention that's behind what we're doing.
True. So when it comes to just making any mistake, right? Just making any mistake.
Mistakes
Um,
that
um, true. But what do you think the best part about making a mistake is, or making mistakes? What's the best part?
best part about making mistakes. I think happy accidents come
Okay.
out of mistakes sometimes, right? Like
Okay.
especially when it's like, meeting somebody, like
Yeah.
one of your closest friends you met because in a space where you weren't even supposed to be at because you made a
Okay.
mistake.
Yeah.
Right. I think there's a
Okay.
lot of happy accidents that come out of them. And I think
Hmm.
those are like the best things that, like, yeah, we made a mistake, similar to personal growth.
Yeah.
Something good came out of it anyway.
Okay. All right.
I think those are the best things.
And what do you think is more advantageous for you personally, for you, um making making a mistake, or seeing someone else make a mistake?
So for me, I think I think it's definitely going to be making the mistake.
Okay.
I think that we can learn, of course, from other people's mistakes. But
Hmm.
I think what I was saying too is that, like, sometimes we just have that itch, right? Sometimes we have that, like, I feel like I'm supposed to do this,
Yeah.
even though everybody's like, that's probably a bad idea, right? And
Yeah.
like, you've thought it through and you're like, no, I think I'm supposed to do this.
Okay.
Sometimes it might take you doing it and making that mistake to get it, to actually see it come to fruition and poorly, to
Okay.
actually get into our head that, like, okay, maybe other people were right.
Okay. Okay. I can see that. I can I can definitely see that. I think especially when it comes to things like maybe this is a field that you wanted to pursue, right? Or this is a
Mm-hmm.
you know
Mm-hmm.
you just wanted to move out of the state or move out of the city or move out of the country for a little while, right? And everybody's saying, I don't know. But you know how people say, I kind of just feel it. I feel this is where I'm being led, or this is where I need to go.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah, I can
I feel
definitely.
like I feel similar when it comes to people too.
Okay,
um like a friendship or a relationship that,
okay,
like, if we don't pursue it, sometimes we're left with that, what would have happened.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And
Because,
sometimes that's an awful feeling to have later, of
hmm.
like, I should have at least tried it, even if it would have been a mistake. I want to know how it would have turned out.
True. Okay, yeah, that sounds real good. Definitely like that.
Hmm.
So what about your success in how you measure it in like your personal well-being or your personal happiness, right? Not so much of, hey, I got to get this job, right? I
Hmm.
got to here, but your personal happiness. What do you measure success? That, oh man, I made it. This is it right here, right? I know it looks a lot different
Yeah.
to everybody, but between like happiness and your well-being, where's that happy medium, right? Where's
Yeah,
you?
I think that's one of those, like, unmeasurable measures,
Okay,
right? Because how do you measure happiness, right?
yeah,
Like, I don't know. Do you count the days that you're happy versus unhappy, right? Like,
hmm,
I don't know how that can be measured.
yeah,
And things like emotional success or relationships or inner
mhm,
peace, right? Like, all of those things are kind of
yeah,
unmeasurable. And so, I think it comes back down more to, like, creating those smaller goals
hmm,
within those big pictures of happiness. For example, like, what can stimulate more happiness, right? Like overcoming a fear or being more present or growth, consistency, right? Like, all of these things can help us achieve happiness.
hmm,
And so I think we can measure them by, like, having those smaller goals. Like, a goal of mine, for example, might be to be more present.
okay,
And more implies 1 day more, 1 hour more, 1 minute more, any sort of more, right? And that's how we kind of measure, right? That it's like, yesterday I felt like I was really just out of it, not present, thinking about all of the worries, thinking about all the past, whatever. So tomorrow I'm going to make it a focal point to stay in that present mindset. And that's measurable because it's going to be more than yesterday.
Okay.
and that means we're having some growth in some way, right? So I don't know how to say I measure happiness, but
Okay.
I think that I try to by setting those smaller goals in that.
Okay. So what? All right. So after a long day at being at work, right? Right.
Uh-huh.
Doing all the work things you do,
Hmm.
and let's say you get off work at blah time, right? What do you want to do after work when you cross your door, your threshold in your door in your house? What puts you in that mindset like this? This is it. What puts you in that mindset? Do you have to be music on? Does it have to be, I have this much money in the bank? Is it I've talked to this many people that today, I've helped this many people. Some people called me. My stocks are rising. What is it that makes you just kind of sit and kind of just feel I'm at peace right now?
And just to clarify with that question, is the I'm at peace moment, is that expressing peace with the job, or is that expressing peace in life?
Right now, this is peace in that moment.
In
So
that
not
moment.
in that moment, not
Hmm.
peace with you know the friend that you had 10 years ago that never said anything to you, or you're still upset about that, right? Just peace right now. The day the work time is over. Now, this is what I need to do to be at peace, happy. I feel like I made it a successful day.
Okay. I have two different answers to that question.
Got it.
So, first and foremost, I think that coming out of the end of that work day and having that, like, wow, today was such a good day,
Hmm.
having that peace with it, I think comes from feeling as if I put as much effort as I could into that day
Okay.
and saw exactly how that effort affected people,
Okay.
right? Because I feel like there's some days at work, whether it's the job I do now as a therapist or in my past jobs that have just been like corporate settings, right? Sometimes you don't put energy into them because
Yeah.
you're having a bad day, you're tired, we have whatever on our mind, right?
Hmm.
And we see that, not to say that we're bad at our job, but just that like that effort wasn't there, so some of those conversations or some of those interactions didn't go as well
Okay.
as we wanted them to. And so we feel that. Right. So
Okay.
I think that it feels good to have that effort, not to say that we're overexerting or putting 120% effort, right? Just good amount of effort into my job and seeing it come to fruition. Like, oh, wow, that effort actually went into this person and I'm seeing them connect to that and relate to that or hit their goals or like something formative was happening. Those
Okay.
are the best days that I think that I have at work, coming out of that and feeling that connectivity and that energy and that like wow, this is why I went into this field. It feels so good to do that.
Okay.
So that's, I think that's that, this is it, I'm glad I'm here kind
All
of
right.
moment. The second part to that,
Yeah.
so I'm not sure which one we were actually getting at, right? But that second part to that of like, how do I get to that, like, this is it, this is peace, and like turn off the work and kind of really start my, like, this is my actual life portion that's for me, is really that practice, that discipline on how to disconnect from an emotional space, right? Because the workspace has so many emotions. It has the like, I have to do this, did I do enough with this, do I still need to do this, right? And like that can bleed into our day-to-day lives, the part that's just for me. So
Hmm.
kind of turning that off and having that having that discipline that like I can separate from my work life to my personal life, and how do I put that same energy into feeding me and my soul, right? And so what that usually looks like is disconnecting by way of immediately going into that like cooking space, right? Because I do love to cook, right? So it's
Mhm.
like I either turn that on immediately and I'm like, okay, how can I like soak into this thing that I do love and
Mhm.
start that, or I'm going outside and I'm going on a walk and I'm, doing these fun things that are getting me outside that are also feeding my soul in a different way with some of the worldly energy that's out there of like sunshine and all of those spaces of just birds chirping and water rushing and like whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's how I have that like this is me at peace and
Okay.
disconnected from that computer space.
Okay. So basically, the first way is you like to help others, and you want to, helping others makes you happy,
Mm-hmm.
right? You
Absolutely.
can, if you can be a good helping person of society, right? And then the other is just kind of knowing that you gave all that you can give that day to A, and now it's time for you to give all that you can to B, yourself.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, that seems pretty good. That's
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
I'm gonna turn that to like same for you. What does that look like for you as far as that like this is peace
Oh man,
aspect?
I think when I press the part of that door or that office door, and it's time to go home and time to just relax. Because I feel that most of the time I give all I can give at work, right? I do what I need to do at work. Yes, there are some times where I may not feel too good, or things that happening, or I'm thinking about something else, but I feel that um, I can kind of turn a lot of things off sometimes. Some people say that's a gift, some people say that's a curse, right? But a lot of times I can say, all right, this has to happen, or this has to get done, or
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
there's a lot of times I can't, but most of the times I can. So I'm always going to give that, 100%, 95, 90%, at work. So when it's time to shut off, and the thing that when it's time for me to just say, I feel so good, is when I can sit on my couch and I can do nothing for a little bit. If I can sit and I feel like I had a great day, and I can just sit and be at peace, that is what makes me absolutely that makes me feel like I've succeeded for that day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not a big hey, I've succeeded for a week, because something could have happened in a week where, something happened and I was upset. But
Yeah.
for that time, we have to take those little successes when we can. So in that moment, if I feel like I can sit and I'm at peace and just breathe, and I kind of think about my success, like, or what brings me to feel like um, I'm successful, or I've made it, is because I know a lot of people that um, lives are a whole lot different than mine.
Absolutely.
Um,
Yeah.
and that really kind of makes me think, wow, that could have been me, right? This could have been me, that could have been me. There's some people from, high school and, college and the military and everywhere that I'm not going to say their lives are better than mine, because again, we don't know, we can't look at somebody and say, wow, I wish I had that person's life. I've never said that in my entire life. I've
Mm-hmm.
never said I wish I had that person's life, because you never know what goes on behind closed doors. You never know what goes on. You never know how sad they are, what stresses they have, what trauma they have, what debt they have. You just don't know. So when I can just sit and say, wow, right now I feel good. I'm breathing. I have all my limbs. I'm sane, right? I'm sane. I have a roof over my head. I have people I can pick up the phone and talk to. Um, I feel really, really good, right? I don't have, $80 billion, right? But where I am now, I feel absolutely good. I'm, healthy. I'm old. My knees hurt. My back hurt. I got, all kind of arthritis, right? But I still feel like I can get up, and if I need to, walk down the street or go to the gym or do whatever I need to do, I can physically do it.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that makes sense. And I guess on that same note, one of my questions for you, right, when we're talking about measuring success, right, is that there is such a major comparison piece currently,
mhm.
right, when it comes to social media and curated success, right? Like, I'm letting you see what I want you to see kind of pieces, right? Like, how do you not fall trap into that comparison piece, and like how do you express that to others to also not fall into that?
Okay, so I kind of think about it like this. I don't believe anything. All right. So when somebody tells me or shows me a picture or shows me a video about, hey, this is how my life is right now. I'm in Bali. I'm chilling. Life is good. I got this money. I got these women. I got these men. I got these friends. I got these cars. I
Mhm.
that's not where I need to be in life, and I don't measure myself when it comes to that person because again, I you're showing me either a snapshot of your life or a 30-second period of time. I don't know
Yeah.
what happened before. I don't know what happened after. I don't know how you got where you got. I don't know how you got to Bali, right? You could have paid money to Bali, or you could did something a little strange for a little bit of change to get there. That's causing trauma in your real life, everyday life. When you go to sleep or when you lay your head down at night, are you able to sleep? Right? How do you feel when
Yeah.
you when you brushing your teeth in the morning? How do you feel? Me? Oh, I sleep like an angel. I sleep like an angel every night. So that's how I see. I don't know what's going on with them. I'm glad they're out there. I'm glad they're whoever it is. It's cool that you're having fun. However, that's probably not for me. And I'm not going to say, wow, this person is really living it. What am I doing with my life? Right?
Hmm.
Why am I not there? That's because when you do that, that's when people start to catastrophize and, woe is me and I can't do this, I can't do that, I can't do anything. And then we start speaking in like uh what do we call it when we start speaking in absolutes, right? Where you can't say every time I do this or every person that's on in social media is always having a good time, right? You don't know that. You don't you don't know what those people are feeling. I just know if they're out there loving life with cars and boats and yachts and things, if they like it, I love it. But from the little part that I have in my life, I absolutely love my life because
Hmm.
it's chill. It's not too much, right? I'm not on the boat, right? I know somebody with a boat. SpongeBob got a boat, right? Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I don't really covet, things like, people doing this on social media, people doing this on social media and going here and going there. I think it's cool, but I don't have to have everything. If I had everything that looks cool, if I had everything, where would I put it at?
Yeah,
Right.
absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's such a, there's a
Oh,
sister.
one more thing.
Yeah, hit me.
The whole, oh man, I it kind of hurts my heart when you see little girls and little boys looking at these men and women online, and they got the biggest muscles or the best body and everything is perfect, right? But what those little kids, right, their mind is not developed like, they're not thinking like a 35, 36 year old person that's like, wait a minute, why does everybody everybody look exactly the same, right?
Hmm.
It's weird. um we have a lot of things that are AI, right? A whole lot of things that are AI. We have a whole lot of filters. We have a whole lot of doctors that are getting paid bucks, right? We have PEDs, right? We have we have all these roids and everything that's going on. We
Yeah,
also just have people actually faking their entire life. And
absolutely. I
when
have a
and
prime
when
example of that. So
it,
continue.
see, and when these little girls are like, oh man, I want to be um that skinny, right? I want to be that pretty. I want to have no anything on no blemishes on my face. That's just not real life. All of these little boys growing up and they're seeing, oh, look at this guy. He has all of these girls and all of these guys with him all the time. Do they know is that person's phone number in their phone? Right? That person that they're probably not. So these are the things that I just kind of wish that we kind of bring. There's a couple people on like Facebook and Instagram. They have these beautiful pictures, these beautiful bodies, and then they always say, "All right, this is so much editing, and now this is what I really look like," right? And I really love that because it kind of shows people there's a lot of freaking bull crap going on
Yeah.
online right in front of our eyes, and don't try to set yourself up to be this perfect because it's fake and it's not real life. It's just fake. So
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely. Yes.
sorry
I
to
think that, no, that's
at
okay.
that.
I think that exactly that same thing that I was going to say, right, is that like there's a societal norm or definition, right, that like success means money, fame, you know, extra hard hustle, right? Like that's what makes you successful. And I think that is such geared towards extra young people in general. It's geared towards our teenagers. It's geared towards, lower low 20s, right? That like
Yeah,
people coming right out of college, right? That like even before college, like some people were, choosing that like as much as college is not for everybody, right? But they're choosing that like I can't go to college because that's not going to give me enough time to chase that money, to chase the
yeah,
fame,
yeah.
right? And like I think that there's such a transition into our 30s, like you're mentioning 35, 36, right? That like that chase of money, fame, that hustle, right, is not as appealing
Hmm.
because there is so much more into the personal development, the personal
Yeah.
growth, the successes that come from different things outside of just money and fame.
True.
Right.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely. It's just it's just again it's just a snapshot. It's just a snapshot or 30 seconds, a minute of somebody's life that could or could not um, be real. I just I just don't believe it because I don't know
mhm.
that person. I wasn't there. Okay, I wasn't there to actually see it or touch and see, what's going on with that. But you know, they gear a lot of advertisements and things towards younger people. I'm not saying younger people are dumb. I'm just saying that brain and, you know, it may not be developed all the way. And also it's, where what they surround themselves with also, right? If they surround themselves with these people that are always kind of like trying to show off, I'm trying to show up, trying to get to the next level, I'm trying to have the biggest, baddest, best car, the biggest, baddest, best house. I mean, it's all cool and everything, but
Yeah,
um, success is also, uh, again, this is me. I feel success is also being able to speak to people and say hello to people and to say good morning and good afternoon to just people walking down the street or people in the store or, people riding by. So,
absolutely.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Okay. So
definitely.
again, all right. How do you measure success? All right, when it comes to relationships and connection with family members and friends, right? What does that success look like for you?
Success in connection. I mean, I think that I defined success within relationships and maintaining relationships, right? By, our ability to communicate about real things.
Okay.
One, our ability to just communicate at all, right? That it doesn't have to be daily, weekly communication, right? Just that, like, we do have that check in that, like, shows that we are caring or thinking about that other person. It's from time
Yep.
to time, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that I define those relationships really by that ability to, like, either curate a sense of safety for that person or just feeling safe with that person on our end as well, that, like, we're in life together regardless
Yeah.
of what is being thrown at us. Like, that is that
Yeah.
I have this person that I could call if I needed to for absolutely anything.
Yeah.
And I know that they're going to be there. That is how I'm defining those successes, because
Okay.
I don't see relationships as frequency as much as quality.
Okay. Yeah, that's really good because so for example, right, your best friend, right? Do you talk to your best friend, him or her, every single day, 24 hours a day, and that's why they're your best friend?
Absolutely not. I probably did when I was 15,
Yeah.
but
Because you didn't
not
have
any
anything else to
longer.
do.
Yeah, not any longer.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, good. Yeah, I think that's I think that's really a really good statement too because it may not be frequency, but it's kind of like the 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 connection or the communication when it does happen, right? So you may not be able to talk to your best friend every day, but when you do, it's like if you haven't talked to them in a week, 2 weeks, a month. But next time you talk, or the next time you get together, some people are lucky. Some people have
Yeah,
their best friend in their city or in their state, right? Some people are not so lucky, and their best friends are across the United States somewhere,
right.
right? So I think when you do kind of get together and have that connection, um, I think that is a really successful feeling.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's really a successful feeling. Like for example, like I know some people like death, right? I know we're talking about success, but like death is so like tragic sometimes, and then sometimes it's kind of smooth. You know what's going to happen, right? And I feel a success in my life was when my mom passed. I didn't feel like, oh my goodness, I wish I could have talked to her more. I wish I could have been around her more. I wish we would have talked about this. I wish we wasn't upset about that. I never felt like that because I talked to my mom she called me all the time. I called her all the time. I'll call her if I'm watching Married with Children, back in the day, and it was something, and it was 11:30
Yeah.
in California time or wherever I was, and I would just call her, and I'm just like laughing because she knows I like Married with Children. Which I always watch Married with Children. I always
Hmm.
watch Martin, right? Uh, like those shows, and I think it was just that connection again, being able to communicate and just feel just that connection with her. I think that was a really good success, and I feel very successful in just having the relationship that I had
Yeah,
with her. So I think that's
absolutely.
yeah, that connection was good, and I kind of feel super bad, super sad for people that may not be so close with their mother or father, and then like some tragic happened. And it's like, man, I wish I would have done this more. I wish I would have done that more. And it's like, man, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that is absolutely. And yeah, you're right on. I mean, relationships have to be maintained from
Yeah,
unideal circumstances all the time, right? Whether it's across the country, or just times of life, right? Sometimes we can live in the same city, but like we're in such different stages of life that like the schedule
yeah,
can't align, right? Things like that. So
yeah,
there's so many
exactly.
things that we have to be flexible. We have to like learn our friendships and what do we want. There's a time in life where like sometimes people, if we never learn how to maintain friendships, we're going to get to a point of life that like suddenly we look around and we don't have any friends, right? Because
Yeah,
not because we're not worthy of friendships, right? But because we never learned how to maintain them and
hmm,
figure out what makes somebody feel like they have a place in your life, right?
yeah, true,
um
true,
but
true,
yeah,
true.
my
I think,
one of my closest friends is in Ohio, right? And
yeah,
she is probably the absolute worst texter that I've ever
yeah,
experienced in my life,
yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
nothing new. This has been who she's been since we were 17 years old, right? That
yeah,
like never has changed, right? So it takes effort, it takes work, it takes acknowledgement. And I think a good relationship also shows when we're able to call somebody out for their shortcomings too, and
yeah,
not in an attacking way, right? It's just more of a, I'm communicating to you what you're not very good at so we can continue to work and improve
yeah,
it.
yeah,
You know?
yeah. Yeah, that's good, and it's that just kind of shows that you don't have to be exactly the same to
Mm-hmm.
be
Mm-hmm.
best friend or to be a friend with somebody. Like I if I had a best friend and that person was exactly like me, first off, that person would be awesome. Okay, second off, if I had like a friend that just kind of like, so you don't want anybody that agrees with everything you do, everything you say all the time, right? That's just what to me, again, that would kind of seem kind of boring,
Yeah.
right? You want to have somebody that has their own opinion, somebody that'll call you out if you're doing something wrong. You want to have you know, a, a no man, right? Or a no woman, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
you have to have those people in your life, because if you have yes men and yes women, and whew, that can drive you down a wild road of, man, I probably shouldn't have did that. How did
Yeah.
I get here?
I definitely get that. So I like it. I like it. I like it. Well, we are coming up to our end here. So I do only have like a couple more questions for you.
Okay.
But one of those being, um, I don't know, like when did you really start to notice that like the ways that you define success early in life had shifted to maybe something different?
Oh man. Um. Sheesh. Probably. in 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, something around there.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of like, yeah, probably about 25, 26, something like that. Just because um, I know I've seen a lot of danger, and I've seen a lot of things that just kind of younger people would do things that were around me, or older people would do things that were around me, and I would think, or I would see them say, "Wow, man, I probably shouldn't have did that." Right? And it's like, now you thought this was going to make you successful, and now it's like, not so much, right?
Mm-hmm.
um I have all of this, let's say for example, I have all of this money, but everybody talks to me all the time about, hey man, can I borrow this? Hey man, can I borrow this? Hey, can I borrow this? So it's kind of like made me sit back and think, okay, so should I just be thinking about, I want to get as much money as I can, or should I be thinking about being at peace and being able to come home and sit down with my family and relax, and go here with my family and just have like a low key kind of vacation somewhere, right? And I think the more simple things in life started looking much more successful than being out and about all the time.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's understandable.
yeah,
I get that. I
yeah. So it
mean,
wasn't all shiny. The the shiny things in life, were kind of
yeah,
like, I don't know about all of that.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, with that same kind of thinking, like, what can you think of, like, what advice that you would give to somebody who's struggling with just overall feeling unsuccessful in life?
Oh man, sit back and relax and think of what you have now, what you have in life right now. Um, and always remember that there are people that are doing way worse than you,
Hmm.
extremely in a unfortunate situation or situations, that would love to be in the place that you are in right now, right? They would love to have um, a house, or they would love to be in an apartment, or they would love to have a car, even if you don't have the 2027 Escalade, right? But you have a 2004 Kia. But you have a Kia, you have a car, you're able to go to work. And I think that's what I would definitely tell somebody. Love where you are right now. Remember where you were before, right? Think about other people that are not so far along that you are right now. And just,
Yeah,
if you can get, if you can walk, you can step to what you feel that's successful 1% more every day, you'll be good. Just one just
absolutely.
1% more, right? Just get a little better. A little better.
Absolutely.
You'll be good.
Yeah, definitely. I think a big part of that I think about when it comes to somebody that's feeling really unsuccessful, right, is that, like, maybe we're not unsuccessful, but maybe we're comparing ourselves to the wrong scale,
Hmm.
right? That, like, maybe it's important to have big goals, but it's also important to have smaller goals.
Yep.
We need both of them, right? And so are we unsuccessful because we have really big goals and we're not hitting them time and time again? But, like, let's look at the small goals. Let's look at what you have accomplished. Let's look at all the small things that you have done.
Yes.
An
Yes.
unsuccessful person is means they're not accomplishing anything, but that's
It,
pretty
it,
impossible for
it's
most
pretty.
people. We're at
It's
least
pretty.
doing something.
Right. It's pretty impossible that that's not do anything.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm sure there are times that feel like, no, this is the worst that I can get. Nobody can have it worse than me, right?
Yes.
Like this is the lowest, right? And so when
Yeah.
we do get to those spaces too, it's also like, sometimes we think about, we take out one thing, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, all of these 25 things, they pretty much suck,
Yeah.
right? But like, let's look at this one thing and see that like this one thing that doesn't suck,
Yeah.
right? That's one thing that is really good,
Yeah.
right? And, ourselves maybe 5 years ago might have been doing something working towards that one thing, and now
Mm.
we've achieved it,
Yep. Yep. Just
right?
get, we might be, looking at the scale just a little, just a little, might be a little skewed, but you
Yeah.
know, if we have this huge goal, right? This, I want to do
Hmm.
this, I want to be this, but you just can't go from zero to hero, right? That's not how life works, right?
To quote
You
Hercules.
need, yes, you need to go like this. Some people may think like, hey, you
Yeah.
know, um, if I only had this, I would be happy. I would feel successful. If I only had $2 million, I'll be successful and I will be good. But what happens when you get that $2 million?
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
probably going to want $2 more million, right?
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Our minds
so what
grow.
is it? It
Our minds grow faster than we can acknowledge success,
yes.
right? When we hit a goal, we move on to the next goal without even like acknowledging that we hit anything.
Yes. There are very few instances where I've seen somebody say, if I only get this, I'll be good. I'll be successful. They get to this and then they say, you know what? I'm good. That's all I needed. Very few people say that. It's no,
Right.
now that I got this, maybe I
Right.
could, right? Maybe it's
Yeah.
this, right? So we have to remember, where we are and
Hmm.
what we have. And also that connection too. I was talking to somebody earlier today, some tragic stuff happened, right? And it was like um when we get in some situations and we don't feel that, hey, I'm good enough or I'm not successful enough, you can always, talk to somebody, right? You just talk to somebody. You can talk to a chaplain, a priest, call 988, right? All of those things work. It used to be in the military frowned upon to say, hey, I want to go speak to a therapist, right? Because you can lose your security clearance, or you won't be able to get this duty station. But a lot of bad things start happening, and now they're like, oof, let's get these people over to see therapists, right? So
Hmm.
make sure, please,
Yeah.
everybody have somebody to talk to somebody, 988 or just something. We don't want anybody, you know, going through and trying to, hurt themselves or other people.
We're just going through something alone. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think what I was going to say earlier, to quote, Schitt's Creek, right? The best show ever. To quote Schitt's Creek, Moira Rose specifically, right? She
Hey,
expresses that there comes a time in life where we look back on ourselves with much kinder eyes,
yeah.
right? That like we are very ourselves harshest critic, right? And
Yes.
that changes at some point in time, and we look back and we see, wow, I was amazing, I was doing such great things, I was
Yes.
beautiful, whatever it is that we
Hmm.
did not feel in the
Yeah.
moment.
We are our own worst critics all the time.
Absolutely.
All the all the time. So, you know.
Yes, I know, it's so fun, joy, joy. So
Absolutely.
I did pull up, to close here, I pulled up our topic list.
All right.
And next on our list, it looks like it is favorite pet stories. Well, Shawnee, it's been a pleasure. Thank you,
Yeah.
everybody who joined Sib Chat
Yes.
podcast
Thank you so
today.
much. Thanks so much. We enjoy having you here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we will see you next week. You guys can
Yes.
queue up
Yeah.
your own favorite pet stories and throw
Yes. And let
them
us
at
know.
us.
Yeah. Let us know something. Right.
So I will see
Uh,
you next week, Shawnee. Have
all
a good
right,
week.
Britt. I'll talk to you later.
Love you.
All right.
Bye.
Love you. Bye.